welcome back to Comedy or Worse. Yay, I'm here with a very special guest.
Jimil Linton.
Yay! Alright, so do you use a stage name?
Just Jimil.
Ah, cool.
I have an opener that, because I've been called Jamal before. My opener is, hi, my name's Jimil. I know you were expecting a tall black guy. If I say anything more than just Jimil as the intro, people will kind of give it away. So
Sure, makes sense. Cool. So how did you get into comedy?
So I'm a songwriter,
Nice.
and and this is like a small time songwriter sort of thing, right? But
Sure.
I was checking out a bunch of open mics in the area, and most open mics I went to are just like music open mics.
Sure.
But this one I went to was at a winery, and it was hosted by a comedian, and
Right.
so I was like one of two music acts, and then I noticed all these comedians just kept coming up, and I was like, this is so interesting and so bizarre, but it's so
Wow.
cool at the same time.
That's super cool origin story.
Yeah.
So you just did comedy songs at first, or?
No, I just did just regular stand-up comedy.
Ah.
Yeah. And then I told myself I want to get good at that or feel comfortable in that before I tried musical comedy or
Okay.
anything like that. I didn't really think to explore it until my friend, who was actually the host of that one open mic that I started off at,
Yeah.
she was like, she said, you should try musical comedy. I think you'd kill in it. So
Yeah.
I tried. I have 2 songs. 3, I guess. 2.5.
Yeah, it's a process, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So once you started, did you get addicted to doing comedy?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. I started in the Central Coast
Uh-huh.
in San Luis Obispo, and I did my first mic. And one of my friends, who is a more experienced comedian, he gave me some notes. And then the next day, I went in and did another set, but like thinking of everything that he said, and it did really well.
Yeah.
And then the host of that mic came up to me and she goes, you're pretty good if you keep doing this, like, and just keep writing and just keep getting on stage. She's like, you're gonna get really good really fast. And then she's like,
Wow.
just keep doing it. And so
Yeah, that's great.
now I'm doing, yeah.
Sweet. So in the area that you started comedy, were there a lot of women doing comedy, or not a lot?
There was a small number of just like comics in general.
Oh, okay.
But out of all the places that I've been to, because I've done like Santa Barbara, Ventura, and I just moved to LA,
Sure.
I've noticed that they have a lot of stronger comedians, female comedians. They're small numbers still, but like they're stronger.
Yeah.
In San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara has has half and half. I've noticed half. There's a good equal amount of males and females in comedy there.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
cool. Nice. So what is your writing process for comedy?
Oh, okay. So, I think of, observational, or I'll find something. Sometimes there are weird things that happen in my life that I'm just like, that needs to be a bit. And so
Yeah.
I'll start kind of writing some notes down, and then I'll kind of put something together. And because I live in LA now, I go to these writers' mics, and
Cool.
I'll try them out, and then I'll ask, or I'll say something like I'm looking for more of a punch in this area, or what else could I be doing? And I get a lot of feedback, and then it helps me shape the rest of my bit. And then
Yeah.
I just keep taking it. Then I try it out at different mics, and then I go back to the writer's mic with the same thing, or it modified, and I just continue getting feedback and going to open mics and just doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I video record myself,
Sure,
so I
of
can
course.
see what I'm doing. I do a lot of act outs. So
Yeah, that's great. Sweet. So who's the funniest person in your life right now? It could just be anybody.
my daughter,
Oh, cool.
yeah, she's the funniest in my life. she's funny at random too. She does improv.
Oh, nice.
Interesting, because they say like, stand up and improv people kind of clash a little bit. But and my daughter, she did try stand up for one mic, and
That's not enough to know if you want to do it or not.
Well, what happened was she got up on stage, and then as she was getting up on stage, she tripped, and then she did her bit, which was really funny.
Yeah.
And then she got off stage, and in San Luis Obispo, we had a resident homeless comic, and he was trying to pick up on my daughter.
Oh my!
And so she was like, "I'm not doing this again." So that ruined it for her.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, I mean, that could happen in improv too, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not, because you practice improv in private, right? And then you do it in front of an audience that hopefully is paid.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different process. Yeah. So I asked this of everybody. I don't always remember the answer myself, but when did we meet?
You and I met back in, was it late March? So I was looking for shows to do in the area, and then you told me that you do shows at Quantum Brewing, and so I reached out to you, and
Sweet.
Yeah, and then I learned you do stuff here at Madhouse, and it's been pretty cool to get to know you, in the San Diego network.
Yeah, super cool. So what's the furthest you've traveled to do comedy?
Do I want to say San? I've gone to Fresno. At the time, I was living in Lompoc, in the Central Coast. I've been up and down the state. I think the furthest south I've gone actually is here. Yeah, I think this is probably the furthest I've gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been to the Mexican border?
Not as a comedian, but yes, I have.
Okay. I see. Cool. Let's see.
When you're driving down the, because I used to live here a long time ago.
Oh, really? Cool.
Down the 805, at the end of the 805, those signs with the people running with their children. It was like that was a shell shock for me when I first moved to San Diego.
Yeah.
Like, this actually happens?
Yeah, it's crazy. Do you have any hobbies or passions that are not related to comedy? I mean, besides music, obviously.
Yeah, I do music. My day job is I'm a psychiatric nurse.
Okay.
So I really like taking care of people.
Nice.
With the music and the songwriting, I do a lot of music, and I play clarinet, and so sometimes when I'm really, really bored, I'll try to write like clarinet quartets, and I'll record it, and
wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I surf,
Oh, wow.
and I rock climb too.
Dang.
Not very good at both of them, but I do them.
Yeah, nice. Super cool. Do you wish you started comedy earlier?
Yeah, I do. But I wish I started it earlier, but I think I found comedy at the right time in my life, because I have so much weird experiences that have happened in my life that
Right.
I can talk about, that
sure.
make it interesting. So.
Sweet. What are your goals in comedy?
Ooh. So I want to do more traveling. Been trying to set goals for myself over, because I've been doing this for almost 2 years now. So
Okay.
I think
Cool.
this last year I wanted to get up on stage at the Hollywood Improv in the Comedy Store. And so I just did the Comedy Store last month.
Nice.
Or actually earlier this month, and then I did the improv back in April. So I accomplished those things. I'm hoping that at some point, and I'm trying to be realistic about this, maybe in the next 5 to 8 years, maybe I'll be able to get on Netflix as a joke or something like that.
Sure.
But let's see. This year, I'd like to do more traveling. I'd like to get out of state, and and do more tours. So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice. What is your favorite joke? It can be anybody's joke.
Oh, gosh. For me, my favorite joke, like what I'm doing right now, is let's see, the blowjob one. There's one that I do about, like, I was in a toxic situationship, and the guy was like really disrespectful, but he was for whatever reason he was really respectful in the bedroom, and he stopped me in the middle of giving him a blowjob, and he's like, "I never asked if you actually enjoy sucking dick," and so it goes into this act out, and I get to play with the mic a little bit, and bottle of water. So that's my favorite for myself.
Yeah.
My favorite from another comedian, Taylor Tomlinson, and her bit about being bipolar. Have you seen that?
Sounds familiar, but I don't know for sure.
She talks about how she got diagnosed with bipolar disorder and how she's on medications and the stigma behind that. And then she's like, well, it's no problem. She's like, being bipolar is just kind of like, you don't know how to swim. But if you have arm floaties, you can go wherever you want to. And she's like, but if you go into the community pool knowing that you don't know how to swim and you go into the deep end and make it everybody's problem, then that's and it's
that's cool.
It's very, she brings up a very good point, and about the importance of taking medications and stuff like that, and that it's okay. And then, and if you ignore it, like I as a psychiatric nurse, I just feel like that was a really cool thing that she did. So that's my favorite bit.
But in your experience, do they try to get people on medication more than it's needed, or?
I've seen. I
maybe not for not things that do with the brain, but. Or even stuff like feels like sometimes it is prescribe you stuff without like other stuff like counseling and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do think that as a society right now.
Or here's your prescription and it says exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people too are looking for just the medication and not thinking about the other aspects of like.
Yeah, I mean it works both ways.
Yeah.
Like the big pharma wants to medicate you, and it's a quick and simple solution.
Yeah.
I would ask. I mean, I'm not a professional. I just know, listening to my body. Am I getting enough sleep? Am I getting enough exercise? Like, you know what I mean? Like. Yeah.
Yeah, but some people will be like, just give me a pill,
Right.
I think that goes for all aspects of of just health in general, like outside of, like in mental health, like you should go to therapy, I think, and if you're taking medications, because there are a lot of organic psychiatric disorders, that you do need medications for, but a combination of those things will help you out a lot. I have a
Also diet, right? Like
diet, yeah.
Diet can affect
exercise, sleep, all those things. Yeah, and just checking in with yourself too. I actually have bipolar 2 disorder, and it's taken me a while to kind of navigate through that. But sure. I go to therapy, and then I also take medications, but I also am very conscious about my sleep and all that other stuff. But I do feel like medication is overprescribed in some areas.
Right. Yeah. Like I definitely go through phases where I don't, where I sleep for 4 or 5 hours and then I'm awake and I can't stop thinking and stuff. So one solution is like, I'm worrying about stuff that needs to get done, so I'll just start doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so just like figuring out, because I like to try everything. It's like, okay, well, this isn't working. Okay, well, what's the logical thing? I'm worried about all these things I need to do. Well, why don't I just do some of them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then get tired and then go back to sleep or whatever.
Yeah. You do the thing that you're thinking about. Yep. I do think that ADHD gets overdiagnosed.
Sure.
And medications towards that, which are stimulants, usually get
Right.
overprescribed. And
Yeah, are you getting enough stimulation in your life? So that, it's a stimulant, right? Well, it's like, well, go do something.
Yeah.
Go rock climb or whatever.
Yeah.
Go ride a unicycle. Learn how to ride a unicycle. Yeah. So what was your first joke?
My first joke was about my name.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. The first one was the opener that I was telling you about.
Nice.
But that first set, I talk extensively about how my name is like a combination of my parents' names, and it's like a Filipino thing.
Oh, okay.
So I talk about like
So no other people don't have your name?
they might Jimil Ann, like I don't know.
Okay.
I've met other Jamils before,
Ah.
but they're usually not Filipino. They're
Okay.
Arabic is I guess it's a more common name in that culture.
Oh, that's interesting.
But yeah, it's a combination of my parents' names, and I talk about how in Filipino culture they also give you a nickname too, and so my parents gave me this black guy's name, but then they also gave me a Filipino nickname that they called me all the time. So they never called me Jamil, and it was very confusing when I went to school.
Right.
Because when they called me Jimil, I didn't answer,
Right.
and then my teacher thought that I was a little special, so she put me in the special needs class in kindergarten.
That's amazing. Okay, so do you have like a favorite fan interaction? Either you were a fan of somebody or someone came up to you after a performance.
Fun fan interactions. Let me think about that one. Some people have come up to me. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a distinct moment where somebody came up. Actually, back in San Luis Obispo, when I was kind of starting out, like I think I was like 6 months into comedy, because there aren't so many women in San Luis Obispo that were doing comedy, but they're, and I was kind of like new to the scene, and they considered me to be a stronger comic, so like
Sure.
one of the audience members who kept coming to this particular mic every Thursday came up to me, and she's like, you know how much of an inspiration you are? And then she's like, I'm gonna try stand-up comedy. So like in January she started stand-up, and it was
great.
really cool to watch. Yeah, and she does comedy now too. So yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, it's kind of interesting seeing the people that keep coming back. It's like either they know it or they don't, that they're doing that because they want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People go into comedy for different reasons,
Yeah, and sometimes people like need to like see it, and then they'll like see everybody bomb. It's like, well, I could do that.
Yeah.
Or I could do better than that.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like, that's not so bad,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look how nobody's talking about how that comics bombed all week.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Every time I see them, they're never doing good. They keep doing it. Oh, I guess it's, no one's whispering about it or whatever. No one remembers. Yeah. So what's your favorite place to do comedy?
Ooh. I like LA a lot. There's a place that I go to called Fourth Wall, and that has like the different kinds of mics. So
Sure.
that's where I like to do like everything. Like they do shows too, so I like doing shows over there.
Right.
I like doing the writers' mics. They also have like a crowd work mic, and if you're trying to audition for like the Improv or Comedy Store, you have to have like a tight 3 minutes, and they Fourth Wall actually has a mic where it's called Challenge Flag, and the person that's hosting it is Mike Sasson, and you do your 3 minute set, and he gives you feedback, and then he gives you things that like make your set sharper, and
Wow.
it's very informative, and I feel like I've gotten better because of that too.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, maybe I should go up there and. Yeah, it's nice to go like to a different town, because even like LA, where you're performing for only comics.
Yeah.
They don't know me, so it's almost like they're a regular audience member. They're a regular crowd that doesn't maybe want to laugh. Sometimes.
Yeah. So they're like a stiffer crowd.
Yeah, so it's like a challenge. Oh, I made them laugh.
As far as like audience goes, anywhere outside of LA, really. I mean, I've been well received. Like I went to Bakersfield at the Well Comedy Club, and that was a really fun crowd.
Yeah, they're probably starving for comedy.
Yeah, and they love the dirty humor. I've noticed in rural areas they love that's if you go raunchy, they're just all over that. So
Wow,
yeah.
Cool. Sweet. So what was your family life growing up?
It was a little difficult. My mom was like physically and emotionally abusive growing up.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but I mean, that trauma kind of has made me who I am, so I should kind of thank her.
Right. Yeah. It's maybe one day we'll be able to like live like I don't know, maybe like maybe it could be a really well simulation where you like go down the path of your life and see what would have happened if this didn't happen or whatever.
That would be interesting, like, because they had talked about like the butterfly effect and everything.
Yeah,
so.
kind of like that, but and it's because it's all in your mind. You could like go through a lot of different scenarios, and then just be like, okay, well, I didn't live the best life, but I'm glad I didn't make those decisions.
Yeah.
Like that would have been even worse.
Yeah. Let's see, with my childhood, yeah, so there was that, I grew up in like the Riverside County area, and I moved when I was 11 to like Palm Springs, and I have like a really strong musical background, so
how did that start?
I played clarinet. I started playing clarinet in 3rd grade. And then,
did you actually have a clarinet you could have at home?
Yeah, my dad bought me a clarinet.
Nice.
You remember the recycler, the classified like newspaper thing? Right. My dad got like a $75 clarinet, and I played it, and it was cool because like right before I went into band, they're introducing all the instruments and stuff,
right.
And he said, I was hung up on playing trumpet. I really wanted to play trumpet. I could have gone down that path, and that would have been a dark road too. I wanted to play trumpet, but then when I watched this presentation on like the different instruments, the thing that sold me on clarinet was they're like, this thing is called the black licorice stick. And I was like, I want to play the licorice stick. So
wow.
That was the only thing that got me on clarinet.
That's interesting, the nickname, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool. So what's your earliest memory?
Earliest memory. I was, I think I was like 3 or 4 years old or something, and I had a younger sister, and we were trying to get something from a shelf, and I gave her a boost, and so like I had her and then she fell and she cut her head open.
Oh, no.
And I just remember like how traumatizing that was, and I couldn't believe I did that to her, you know. And I was about like 3 or 4, yeah. But that was like the earliest memory that I could.
So that was your younger sister?
Yeah, my younger sister
Wow.
cut her head open, and
Nice. Did she have to get stitches or anything?
I think she did have to get stitches. It was a small like, but she did need stitches.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dang.
parents weren't really happy about that.
Sure. So what's the biggest audience you perform for?
Ooh. I'd say there's 2 of them that I can think of. The Well Comedy Club in Bakersfield, they had like over 100 people there. And then the other one was at Palm Springs Comedy Festival last year. And
Okay.
I think that probably had more of an audience. I think there was like at least 200 people in that
Wow.
room.
Sweet.
Most of them were comics, but but it was yeah. I got some really good laughs from that one too.
Oh, nice. So you do act outs, but do you ever do like a different character on stage?
Like just get up and be a completely different character.
Sure. Yeah.
I haven't really done that, but I do when I do my act outs. I will play a different character.
Yeah.
Like the blowjob joke. The guy is supposed to have a British accent, so I will do that. I'll do impressions of my parents.
Sweet.
I was dating a Russian guy about 10 years ago, and I at the end of one of my name bits, like I talk about how I love how he said my name in Russian. And then after we broke up, I started going to Russian restaurants so somebody could say my name. and I do an act out of like talking to the Russian waiter, you know.
Yeah.
And, so I'm doing that in a thick accent, and yeah. So
That's cool. Let's see. So have you ever won like a comedy contest or anything like that?
Last year I was at Comedy Chateau. And I did their festival, and I was selected for Best of the Fest.
Wow.
So that was really cool. That's like their top 14.
That's great.
And then let's see, and I wasn't expecting that either. That was like my first comedy festival.
Yeah.
And then I went out to Fresno for a comedy competition out there, and there were some really good people out there. But I got 3rd place.
Nice.
So that made me feel really good because the people who got 1st and 2nd was like well deserved, and I was like, holy cow! Well, like, yeah.
Yeah.
They gave me $150.
Nice. Getting paid to do comedy.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's see. So, what's your best booking story? Like, oh my god, I can't believe I got booked on this show. Or if you book your show, then I was able to get this comic.
I thought it was cool that I got booked for the Comedy Store. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So how did that come about?
So I have a couple of friends that produce that show, right? But they're very selective about the comics that they put up on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who's the other producer of the show, Mike Moratori, he'd never seen me do like any of my bits, right? But we have a mutual friend, and my friend was like you should book Jimil on your show, like she would be really good. And he's like, but I got to see her first, right? And we'd never been on shows together. Or if we were, he would like leave early because he had to go to another show.
Sure.
And so he watched me do the bit. I do a bit about like being in a situationship with a guy and how he wanted to have his prostate milked. And so I talk about that and how I'm a registered nurse and how I realized that I could milk this guy's prostate if he wanted me to, you know? And I do this bit, and it's very, I do a lot of act outs, right? So Mike watched that, and he's like, I gotta have you on the show. That was the moment where he was just like, yeah, you need to be,
nice.
You need to be at the Comedy Store. So that made me feel really nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what's the worst thing about comedy right now?
Ooh. Worst thing about comedy, I guess in my experience, as far as being a female comic, is that I will get hit on a lot by very inappropriately too, both by comics and audience members, mostly new comics.
Sure.
And there are some people that say like, oh, I don't talk to new comics, or I don't, and I usually talk to new comics because because I'm still fairly new myself, right? And I try to be very generous with whatever advice they ask from me, or
Sure.
and be supportive of that. But a couple of times I've had stalkers.
Nice.
I've had 3 stalkers actually on Instagram, and I've had to block them, but they would send like weird DMs, and so that's the complication of being a female comic. But also, I don't.
Were they bots, or do you think they're real people?
No, they were real people. They were audience members that said hi to me once, and then they're like, "Hey, can I have your Instagram?" And a weird one that happened was actually another new comic, right? He went up to a mic, and it was his very first time doing it, and he got pretty nervous, and then everybody in the room was really supportive. They're like, no, keep going, right? And then at the end, I was like, we were talking, and he's like, oh, you had a really good set. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, you keep going, keep doing it. And he's like, can we exchange information? So I did. And then he asked me out for coffee to like talk about how he wanted to be like a ghostwriter for me.
What?
And
it's a new comic.
Yeah. He's like, I don't like being on stage, but I want to write for you. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, send me what you have, and I can filter out what I like and what, I was like, cool. And then about a week later, he's like, I wanted to tell you that I'm into MILFs, and I think we should hook up.
Oh my goodness.
So.
Yeah. What are you going to do? It's all a learning process. And a lot of people, you have to train a lot of people. Let's see. So in LA, you watch a lot of other comics, do their material. Do you enjoy that, or is it hard sometimes? Or?
Sometimes it's hard. Most times I'm cool with and just watching, because I like to see what other comics are doing, and But if you're on a show with a really long lineup and the show's like 3 hours long, that's like that's grueling.
That's crazy. They do a 3-hour show. A show should be an hour and a half.
Yeah, no longer than an hour and a half. Have you ever been to the Comedy Chateau?
I don't know. Do they do bringer shows there?
Yeah. The bringer show is another worst thing about comedy, but it's like anyway.
I think I've tried. I think I've been. I didn't do a bringer show. I don't know. I think I did watch something there, and or maybe they also have open mics or something. I did an open mic there or whatever.
They have like the audition open mic, but they do shows there like on Friday, Saturday, Sundays. But like they're
and then the audition is for a bringer show anyway, right?
Yeah, and you're gonna make it, like it's like, and anybody could be on there, unless you horribly offend somebody. But the Comedy Chateau shows run for like 3 hours, and and so that can be a little grueling. But generally, I like going to see other comedians and watching their sets and stuff. Especially when they're doing like a bit that's like they've done before, and then like you see them modify it a little bit, and it's cool watching the evolution of their joke,
Yeah,
so
for sure. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see. Have you ever been in a car accident?
Yes, I have. I've been in a couple of them. Luckily, I've been okay.
That's good.
One when I was like 17, and I lived in Palm Springs at the time, and I was driving in Ontario where I shouldn't have with some friends, and I took a wrong turn, and I hit a car head on as I was getting out of a parking lot. The lady, she didn't sustain any major injuries, but like I felt bad, just.
Did it total the car? Or?
Her car possibly, mine no. And my mom was so pissed at me because she had that car for like 10 years, and she's like, "This is my baby," right? Yeah. And I get it now because my daughter's like 20, and she drives around my Prius, and that car's 10 years old, and that's still my baby, But there's that, and then when I was living here in San Diego, actually, we had a car. It was like kind of like a hit and run sort of thing. We were going down like Market Street, and this car was coming across the intersection. This is a very big, area, and I was thinking like that car better not go, and I was like honking my horn, and that car went, and then they hit the side of us, and they gave us false insurance information, and so it ended up being a little nightmare. But yeah, that's
awful.
That was some time ago. Yeah.
Let's see. Do you have any merch?
Not really. Actually, I have these stickers that say that have my face on it that say, "I know you were expecting a tall black guy," and that's about it. But I want to have more merch.
Sure.
There's actually a bit that I'm working on. It was one of my first jokes where I talk about the struggle quesadilla. Like if you have you eat this particular, you make this cheap ass quesadilla, and out of a store-bought tortilla and those Kraft sliced cheese, and you eat that when you're depressed. And I'm still working that joke. I want it to punch more, but once it actually gets better, I want to have a sticker of a crying quesadilla just sitting in a pool of tears.
Wow. That's cool.
Do you have any merch?
Yeah, look, I'm wearing it right now. This is the new Comedy or Worse logo, and then
the cow.
I personalized it, say San Diego, California.
Nice.
And then the idea is to have, you can these print on demand shops, and then you have a text box that people can put whatever personalized message they want.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so the idea is for them to put their city, and then take a picture and then tag me, Comedy Worse on Instagram.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's just a work in progress. I had to take it down because it was not working correctly, but I gotta remember to put it back up because I think it's a new feature, so I think it has some bugs in it. But I think because I made a copy of this shirt, and then I think that's why it didn't work. So if I start at the very beginning and go through the process, I think it will work. Or I guess I could just, if it doesn't work again, I could just email or message them and say, hey, this isn't working. Because I had another product, I think it was this one. Oh no, I think it was my phone case or something. Yeah, the phone. Yeah, the phone case, and it wasn't working, so it still said the generic text there.
Oh.
You know, like print. It says like the placeholder text. It said print it your way.
Yeah.
And it never like let me like enter in the data. You know, the customized message. Yeah. So I just gotta fix it. I don't. This is boring. I'm talking about technical stuff.
No, I think it's cool. I think I was looking at your shirt and you're talking about how you wanted to personalize it with the different cities and stuff. I'm gonna have to check that out and get one with LA or something. You know, that'd be cool. Happy to support that.
I'd be honored. Sweet. Let's see. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Or any questions? Or
no.
Have you ever been on a podcast before?
I've been on a podcast before. Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever have your own podcast?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay. What about comedy podcasts? Do you listen to any comedy podcasts? I mean, you literally could just make up a name and I would believe that was a podcast.
Here and there, I'll listen to a podcast episode. I can't think of like the name of the shows, but like somebody will be like, "Oh, you should listen to this podcast," and then
okay.
Yeah.
So they say, "Oh, listen to this podcast, this episode," and then you go listen to it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Do you have any comics that you follow? They might have a podcast, or?
Yeah, actually, my friend Chris Dunham, he's a Fourth Wall regular and also an LA comedian, but he's a middle school teacher, and him and a couple of his middle school teacher friends have a podcast called Teachers Lounge Live. So that's I'll listen to that every once in a while. That's fun to listen to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Sweet. Okay. How do you feel about the length of the episode? Is it good length?
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you can always come back and be on the podcast again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah. Well, all right. This has been Comedy or Worse. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.